Yeah, I would doubt it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Welcome to Meet Your Mayor Tabor. My name's Alan Friesen. I have Andrew Prokop with me. Andrew is the incumbent mayor for the town of Tabor. I don't know if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I interviewed one of the mayoral candidates for Tabor. And then Andrew and I said, hey, well, we should have a chat about this too. Andrew, so great to see you, sir. How you doing?
Yes, good afternoon, Alan. Thanks, just fine. Yourself?
Good, good. I was thinking the other day, probably the last time I saw you live and in person was for the February in 2019 Fish and Game Banquet, their annual general meeting and banquet. I bet you that's the last time I saw you in person.
That sounds about right. I believe that's the last time they had one, actually.
I know for sure it is. Yes, exactly. So, Andrew, how long you been the mayor of Tabor?
Yes, sir. Actually, it's for myself. I've actually been on council for 8 years, coming up 8 years now. I was first elected as a councilor in 2013. And in the latter part of 2017, our mayor at the time left us unexpectedly. So at the time, I was also the deputy mayor in the deputy mayor role. And as a result, we were short one person. So had the option of either calling an election for a mayor for a short term or appointing an interim mayor, which is what we ended up doing. Bottom line is council asked if I was willing to stay in that position as a deputy mayor and or in an interim role as mayor for that 6-month period roughly. And I agreed to that as long as the rest of the council is okay with that. So I did that and gained a lot of great experience with that. And as such, decided to run formally for the mayoral role in this last term, which was in 2017. And fortunately, was successful in that capacity as well.
Cool. So you know how much work is involved in the whole mayor role. Is that how much of a time commitment is that for you, Andrew?
Ooh, boy, exact hours a week you're suggesting?
Yeah.
It can vary, Alan, but it's certainly not a part-time responsibility at all. It's far from a part-time responsibility. There's a lot more to that. And, there's weeks that are 40, 50 hours easy, I'm sure. And that's also including some of the weekend requirements. Most recent, just as an example, I had 5 different invites to weekend appearances and or responsibilities. So that's high for a weekend, but it's both Saturday and Sunday. But it's not uncommon for 1 or 2 any given weekend for whatever's going on. And many evening requirements also, as well as the regular general mayoral duties on a daily basis. So there's a lot of man hours attached to that. There's no doubt.
Yeah, you betcha. And prior, you've had quite a long law enforcement career prior to your municipal politics, correct?
Yes, sir. That's accurate. Actually, I first came out to Tabor, moved to Tabor in 1983 for the job with the Tabor Police Service. I believe we've had that conversation in the past, somewhat, Alan. But so I spent 24 years with the Tabor Police Service here locally, and retired some time back, and did a variety of things since, and or got into the municipal politics. Always liked municipal politics, and took an interest there. But as a town employee, any town employee actually does not qualify to be an elected official. So that was part of the criteria that we didn't have any choice. If you're going to work for the town of Tabor, you did not actually qualify to be a candidate in any capacity.
Really? Is that like just a town of Tabor thing, or is that a common type theme that if you're an employee of the municipality, you can't run for council or mayor?
Well, I believe that is everywhere. I think it's Municipal Government Act. I'd have to check that to be 100% sure, but for sure here, that's exactly what's required.
I mean, it makes sense. I just never heard of it or never thought of it before, but it makes sense, right? That would be that relationship would not serve well to transparency.
Well, I'm sure it's Alberta wide there. It's and or kind of the provincial requirements elsewhere. So I would just have to check that 100%, but I'm sure it's a provincial mandate, actually.
So, Andrew, you got enough energy for another 4-year term? Do you have some big goals you want to do in Taber?
I absolutely have enough energy for another term. You bet. You know what? We're one continuous process and continue to progress. Alan, I've been very fortunate to be part of 2 very proactive councils the last 2 terms, and I hope to have a very proactive for a 3rd council in my capacity. So absolutely, it's a matter of looking at what's best for our community as a whole. And it's exciting with everything going on and what we've accomplished thus far and what hope to accomplish in the future.
Yeah. What do you see right now as the biggest challenge that mayor and council really have to kind of put more care and attention to?
Well, it's like anything else. You're always having to look after your Taber and area residents as best you can. That is the responsibility of any municipal council. So I believe anybody getting into council or municipal government rather has that same goal to try to make their community better in whatever capacity. Some have different ideas on how to get there, but I don't think I've met anybody yet that had any illegitimate intentions as far as just looking to make things better for their whole community.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Taber, it's a growing place. Things are happening there. Pretty exciting place to be around, eh?
Sure, absolutely. I can point out some highlights if that's good for you.
Why not?
Sure. Just right now, probably one of the biggest showcase attractions we have here in Taber is our Trout Pond location. That's actually a 6-year project in the making. It's still ongoing, a work in progress. And that occurred 6 years ago originally, where we developed an original old trout pond that was sort of, I guess, neglected for lack of better terminology. It just hadn't been dealt with for probably 25 years. And we were looking to enhance the area recreationally. And I guess that's kind of what prompted that. So for me, with my 3 main focuses are deal with economic growth and recreation opportunities and enhancement, as well as priority projects and priority spending, along with fiscal responsibility always. So this fit the mold as far as what we did way back then, 6 years back, and we basically just completed phase 3 of what is including 5 phases all told. So cool. What we have out there, I should take you out there, Alan, sometime for a little tour there if you haven't seen it yet. But we have.
I have not seen it. I would love to do a little tour with you. Yeah.
Well, you're more than welcome to come out anytime, Alan, and we'll certainly tour you around. But that trout pond is, it's got lots of activity going on. It's a fully stocked trout pond with roughly 12,000 trout now in there. Alberta Conservation in Alberta has stocked that pond for us, and I believe it's 4 times now in the last 3 years they've stocked that. And the fish started out anywhere from 8 ounces to a pound variety, and now they're up to 4 to 5 pounds.
Woo, wow!
Some of the bigger ones. So, yeah, it's just they've got a great food source there also, so they're thriving actually. It's very exciting to see that going over well. And pardon me.
Yeah, that's excellent. Is that a Town of Taber only thing, or is that a Town and MD joint venture?
Well, no, the MD, part of the trail system, the MD was part of that, but sure, the MD supported that, the concept, and we have to have MD support when we were doing that. Originally, that was in the MD location, town land in the MD. It has now been annexed accordingly in the last 3 years. And we did open up the Trout Pond camp area, and there's a beach watercraft activity going on there. It's not actually for swimming, but you can wade in there and that sort of thing. And
yeah, cool.
But there's an actual about a 50-meter beach stretch, so you can sunbathe or relax on the sand, and walking trail that goes right to it. There's a campground with 9 sites right there right now. Nice. And again, that's a huge showcase for Taber. And so anybody that's not aware, we tried to promote that as best we can, but it's on our website, it's on Facebook page, etc. And it's a happening location, Alan. Like it's very well used, and I don't believe I've ever heard anything negative about it thus far. People are very excited to be using that and making use of it. That's what it's for. People, area residents as well, and or visitors alike. So we've also
another
got
amenity for your community. That's awesome.
absolutely,
Yeah, great.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's also we have a Trail 77 system in there, which is an organization that's now developed a variety of trails in there, about 200 members strong, and for the biking crew and or there's runners that use that trail. We've just now completed the 15 kilometers of now trail, which is a complete loop, which was just completed this past spring. So it's many, many activities out there, and looking at some other disc golf, possibly some other camp areas, day camp areas, camp kitchens, pump track for the bikers as well. And the list could be endless. It's like I say, it's a project that's continuing to evolve, and we're very excited about what we have right now. As I said, it's very much showcase orientated feature attraction for Tabor, and it's only going to get better.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
It is.
So Andrew, here's what I hear you telling me. You're ready for another term. You're energized. You're pumped. You're ready to go. You've got the experience from your council and mayor past already, and you're all excited about being mayor again of Tabor.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've got several other showcase items I can certainly tell you if you have the time there, Alan.
Sure. Go for it, Andrew.
Another one is our Meadows project is all about attainable housing. And back to the cost of the Trout Pond. Right now, we're about $2 million into that and growing. So, but that's what's into that currently. This Meadows project is actually an attainable housing project that's roughly $6 million investment. And that's dealing with attainable housing that's going to deal with manufactured homes in a specified area just to the northwest area of town. And 60 acres that was bought up there back by council in 2018. We as a council identified that area and or a gap that was lacking for housing in the town of Tabor in 2017. So it became a very serious and passion-fed council initiative. And we've continued to that stage, and to right now they're in the construction phase, and they are doing all the infrastructure requirements. And lots are now available. 90 lots are available for sale, and they've sold one lot in the last 2 weeks, I believe. So it's started, and it's actually going to be a total of 302 lot availability there, anywhere from $67,000 to $77,000, and I believe a total of roughly $200,000 to $240,000 all in. And you own your home and turnkey setup. You don't even do the grass. You don't shovel the snow. You don't plant a tree unless you want to. But
right.
A small amount of condo fees takes care of that if you so choose, and you don't have to do a thing as far as the yard goes. And it's upkept and properly. And with an agent that we have looking after that's done a couple of these projects, has very great experience in that regard. So it's happening, and it's by next spring, I believe you'll see actual manufactured home residents at that location.
Excellent.
So
is there a homelessness exist in Tabor? Homelessness?
I'd like to say not, Alan, but they have been here. They have been. I don't believe currently that I'm aware of anybody around here, but in the last 5 years, yes, it's every year we seem to get one or two that transient come through here and staying wherever in the parks or parking lots, etc., and try not to bother people. That's sort of people are really good in Tabor area helping people out in that capacity. But unfortunately, I know Lethbridge is really big with that more and more all the time. But yes, we're getting a small amount of that as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Cool.
So a few other highlights, if you like, I can talk about a wetlands project that was approved last year, and that's a $7 million project that's dealing with stormwater, and also turns into a recreational area when they've done something like Canmore, if you've been in that area, the boardwalk, etc. So good for nature lovers, bird watchers, etc. So it turns a wetlands project for stormwater use into potable water eventually.
Woo.
And also a recreational area. So
right.
Another win-win scenario.
Right.
So
and also providing the protection for heavy rainfall situations, right? That's part that it's managing as well. Nice.
Absolutely. We've met the criteria that was spelled out to us by our Tabor Irrigation District. some time back, and that fits that mold 100%. So I guess another couple of highlights here. Paving is always a big concern, big question. We've just now done our complete Civic Center parking lot to the tune of $1 million, and that's just been completed. And every year, our odd years, like 2021, for example, is $150,000 earmarked for paving replacement, paving repair, and on even year numbers, it's $400,000. So we are addressing that on a regular basis. Well, that's always a topic of concern by most individuals that from one time or another, and myself included, and see it. It's also very dependent on what kind of winters we have here, right? So sure. We're at the mercy of Mother Nature in that regard, a lot of different times, and not a lot we can do about that as far as what's going to occur with the frost heaving, etc. Yeah. So what wasn't the problem last year may be a problem next year. Yeah. Kind of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on, Alan. We're very excited, and I guess I got to touch on some more areas that this is very exciting with the business ventures. We've averaged over the last 4 years 45 new businesses a year. And even through the pandemic year, 2020, we averaged 41 businesses.
New businesses set up.
Some are home business, but it's still business nonetheless. Yeah. And not any less important than any other business. So it's a benefit for the community. And we have our entrepreneurs that way and willing to take those chances and that risk. And I was quite impressed to see that our numbers were just 10% below our average in a pandemic year.
Yeah, so that's great news. That shows a lot of optimism.
Absolutely. Just to show you a little bit of other optimism is related to building permits rather. In 2018, construction value $10,500,000, 2019 $6 million, 2020 $6 million, 2021 $15 million. So it goes to show you just what's happening here, and things are moving along, and we are thriving in a lot of areas, Alan.
Awesome. Andrew, that's very optimistic. That's pretty exciting stuff. And thanks for sharing some time with us and telling us about where that you're prepared and ready to be mayor again and excited to be leading at the town of Taber.
If I could just close out, Alan, just by making a couple of comments, if that's okay.
Sure, just go for it.
For myself, Alan, I think you know already, but I'm definitely all about community spirit, community involvement, community enhancement, deal with the betterment of our community. And the bottom line, Alan, our team Taber is building a better community for tomorrow.
Beautiful. Keep yourself well, sir. Good luck with your mayor run, and keep yourself well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Alan. Look forward to meeting you back on the range someday. Come out and visit our range. We've got a great range just 5 miles away.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the tour. Okay.